Hey, 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 how's
Yeah,
it?
it's me and Kenny.
That's right, it's 5-year-old baby Spraps and Ken's talk going over
I'm not
NHL.
Sprapp.
Well, that we're doing an NHL Sprap today for Saturday, November 26th.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, we are. So, here's what we're doing today. Is we're going over all the games because there's a lot of games on the slate. I believe we got 9 games tonight starting around 7ish. So looking at Anaheim, San Jose right now, who do you want to pick? So we're going to go game by game, and then we're going to look at all the players.
And the player is, and one of
Joe
them.
Pavelski is the
Yeah,
player.
that's the player.
And Brent Burns and Patrick Marleau. I got a thing for Marleau, too. He tends to put up big points sometimes. He's got a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Those big 3 guys on San Jose look like something to mess around with. Logan Couture can also have a good big night against Anaheim.
Go Logan Cocho.
That's right. How about Carolina and Ottawa? It's the Hurricanes. They have some decent defense. They played a good game against Montreal, even though they lost the other night.
Yeah, even though.
And then there's Victor Rask. I had him. He put up some points. I had some good luck last night. I actually cashed really. I had a nice roster late in Friday night's games, and I made some money. Picking up some guys on Nashville. I picked up a few guys on Edmonton, and I had Tampa Bay. Kucherov, who was
Edmonton night.
Edmonton. Edmonton is a city in Canada, and I believe it's
Hey,
in
you
Alberta.
love Canada.
I do. Who doesn't like Canada?
I do too, because I like that birdhouse where all that stuff is in Canada. Where the birds are, and the birdhouse where all that stuff is.
Birdhouse? Is that when we were in Niagara Falls?
Yes.
I think
so.
so.
The birdhouse.
Well, watch out for Chicago because they had a big night. Kane actually put up some points. Hartman is the sleeper there. That's why I expanded him and show his cheap salary. He's been putting up some points, been providing some real value at a low salary. How about the Kings? Carter was big a couple nights. I had him during that stretch when he put up 12 points. He helped me cash a few nights ago. I don't know if he's going to be able to put it up against Chicago. Chicago finally came off and pulled out a win after having a couple rough games.
Go Chicago!
Columbus, Cam Atkinson continues to be solid. Another big night last night, and he stole the puck and had a shorthanded goal. It was a nice goal last night to push Columbus over Tampa Bay, even though I had Tampa Bay guys.
Boo, Columbus!
Florida, it looks like defense. Ekblad there. Trocheck has not done much in the last couple weeks here. So I'm probably going to stay away from Florida. Columbus is coming off a game last night, but they might still be. I don't know what to do in this game. How about Minnesota St. Louis? Minnesota came out of nowhere, put up like 5 or 6 goals last night. Granlund had a big night. Look at that. Parise is back last couple games, so maybe Coyle I always like. They moved on to the first line. You can see he has a couple, like 3 of the last 4 games, some nice points. So
go Pee-Pee Land!
Coyle and Parise and Granlund, that's an interesting pull there. Niederreiter even put up 7. Is Niederreiter defense? I think he might. I'm not sure. So, yeah, I don't know. St. Louis, Tarasenko's pretty solid most of the time. You think they're going to put up some goals on Minnesota. Probably be some scoring coming off game yesterday. Perrin, I like David Perrin. Probably do. If St. Louis does put up some goals tonight, you do want to pick up Tarasenko, Perrin, maybe Parayko as well. Detroit and Montreal. Detroit put up a bunch of goals against Jersey last night. Franz Nielsen had a huge 2-goal game. Mantha's cheap. Look at his salary, only $3,100. Consider bringing him in there. It provides a lot of value. Although we're up against Montreal, a tougher game. This is in Detroit. At least carry price isn't at home. But yeah, Montreal is a better team. I actually like Montreal's offense is a better choice here. They probably can put up more on Detroit. Weber, Markov, your defense, Galchenyuk, Shaw, Radulov, Pacioretty. You got options there, but I do think Markov is a decent defensive choice. And Weber, and maybe Galchenyuk if you're grabbing a couple guys on Montreal. Moving on to the next game. Hold on, kiddo. We've got New Jersey and Pittsburgh. The Devils put up some goals against Detroit. That Camilleri Zajac, I mentioned it in the video. Back up. I mentioned it in the video last night to pick up Camilleri and Zajac. They put up 7 and 5 points respectively. It would have helped you out. I did grab Camilleri. I didn't grab Zajac. I ended up putting the guy in Tampa Bay. I should have grabbed Zajac. Pittsburgh, Crosby can be just devastating if you don't get him and he has a big game, which the Devils have been giving up goals lately. So Kessel also very solid there. And if they put up some goals on the power play, maybe Letang will be back there, Malik and Hornquist. But I think Crosby and Kessel are two guys you probably want to pick up here, given the goals that the Devils have been putting or allowing lately. Vancouver and Colorado. Start with Colorado. McKinnon, so solid lately. He's a great pick. Duchesne can come with him and provide some points. I think Eric Johnson's on defense there. You got to watch out for him. Vancouver, I think they let up a few against Dallas last night. They lost 2-1 to Dallas last night. They can give up some goals in the second night. McKinnon, always a solid pick. As for Vancouver, they've been playing Horvat more. He's very dangerous, and I believe his salary is still reasonable. So you got to consider him. He's with Burrows, and the two of them together have been having chances. I caught a little bit of that game last night. So they're the sleeper second line, third line pick. Watch that, kiddo. Then Toronto and Washington. So Toronto has been heavy on the offense lately, but they're coming into town. I think Holtby will be in net today. So you don't know what they're going to provide. Matthews had a big game last game, 2 goals, I believe. Van Riemsdyk can be dangerous. Now, with the Caps, Toronto's been giving up some goals lately also, so I think that the Caps are a good bet here. OV can have a big game. He's going to continue to take shots. He's definitely shooting a lot. They had a big Russian line with Kuznetsov, Burakovsky, and Ovechkin, I think. But you've also got Backstrom, who's solid for points there as well. And the Caps defense has not really been putting it up lately. So if we look at everybody and we start moving around all players, you can see players by position. Get a look at overall, if you were just to spotty pick players off random teams, look at from the beginning of time. I'm going to zoom out and show kind of all games to see who's on top over really the entire month of November. It's Crosby, which is why I said he's so dangerous. And I think you probably got to pick him up, even though he's expensive tonight, because they are playing a team that has been giving up some goals. So New Jersey has. I think Crosby's probably going to have some points tonight. Carter, not necessarily against Chicago tonight. Kessler, yes. McKinnon, yes, because he's been so. Kadri is dangerous too, even though the Caps don't give up. Kadri's been playing very well. That's Toronto. Careful, kiddo. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot to go over tonight. You might want to thin it out and play some smaller tournaments with less than the full 9 games. Hold on a second. You might want to do the ones that have 5 games or 4 games starting at 8 o'clock. Because there's a lot to pick from, and there can be offense in several of these games. Tonight, Brassard also, I like. He's solid. He might have a good game last time. So it's a hot night for Saturday hockey. And do you have anything to say, everybody, kiddo? You want to say anything to anyone?
My dad got fired from his work.
Fantastic. Well, but I work for myself. How can I get fired? No, that's not talk for the internet, kiddo. Well, he's a 5-year-old and he's pointing out my shortcomings, but I'm making some money in hockey, so who needs a job? Who needs a job?
You do.
Maybe I do. Mm-hmm.
Because you got fired, baby.
Hey, I didn't get fired.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I got laid off. I was kidding. Okay. Anyway, all right.
I make fun of you.
Yes, you do. That's what kids do. So take a look. Watch out for Brent Burns. He'll probably put up some points today, too. And Ken's Talk is out.